Trial date has already been set.
Yes, it is on 27th.
Why am I hearing about this few days prior to the day?
Because my brother is adamant about going to jail. He'd rather die than be a free man.
He'd rather stay in jail for a crime he did not commit. What's going on, Gen? What's going on with my friend?
Perhaps you should cancel your meeting. What I have to tell you will take longer than half an hour.
For how long are you going to stand by the door?
How did you know I was here?
Your perfume, it's distinctive and quite strong.
What to say? Thank you.
Is there something you wanted?
Yes, I was dropping this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I'll be heading back to the library. See you around.
Okay.
Cyrus.
Hello, how's it going?
It's better than I had even anticipated.
Good. About the Wednesday meeting.
Yes.
I'm afraid you'll have to handle that by yourself. A case just cropped up involving a long-lost friend of mine, so I have to be in court.
I'm sure I'll manage it.
Of course you will.
Okay.
Yeye ni ndugu yangu. Naweza ongea naye?
kuingia.
Just one moment. Tim, come on. It's Ken. Please. I have some good news. I have managed to locate your buddy, Mwako, the advocate. Remember him? He has agreed to take your case. I believe you have a better chance now. Tim, please talk to me. Please.
Oh, let me be.
No, you are my brother. You are my only brother. I cannot lose you.
I deserve to die.
No, Tim, no.
There's nothing you can do to help him. Just let him pay for his sins.
By sending him to jail?
If it comes to that, yes.
Not without a fight.
Talking to my client in my absence?
There's nothing to talk about. Your client has confessed to the murders. I have a statement signed and authenticated. Let's not waste time on this.
You can help him, right?
I need to talk to your brother. Have a seat. Tim? I'm glad you remember me.
Stop wasting your time, Richard.
Maybe not.
All right.
in the matter of the state versus Team Nura on 5 counts of first-degree murder.
I want to speak to your ladyship.
Don't you have a lawyer?
Your Honor, my client has not conferred with me about the matters that he wishes to speak of.
I see. Didn't the two of you have a moment just a while ago?
He's not my advocate.
Mr. Mwako, what is going on?
I want to speak to your ladyship.
Your Honor, may I have a moment with my client?
I want to speak to her ladyship, please.
Well, well, you will have that opportunity later as the case proceeds.
I killed my family.
What?
I killed my wife and my 5 children. Please, please don't waste any more time. Just send me to the hangman. I plead guilty. I am guilty.
Silence!
Guilty.
Silence!
I am guilty.
Silence in my courtroom.
In view of what just transpired,
Your client just pleaded guilty to the crimes he's been accused of.
Your Honor, the state moves for quick sentencing.
Your Honor, the distraught confession is in fact a reason for us to slow down the process, to allow me more time to assess the crime and the facts around it, so as to come up with a good defense on what happened on that fateful day.
What defense can there be? What excuse can you bring up of a man who killed his own family, 5 children and a wife, mercilessly? His heinous crime should be punished to the full extent of the law. There is even a signed statement to prove it. Let's not waste this court's time. Let's not even waste his time.
Your Honor, a man who willingly walks to the gallows is nothing short of insane.
That insanity card will not work here. It's cheap and an insult.
He is obviously not in his right state of mind.
How insane does a man need to be to plan and execute 6 murders flawlessly? And even tell the whole world about it. He is as guilty as charged.
Your Honor, I plead for more time to allow my client to be psychoevaluated.
Your client has pleaded guilty twice. I do agree with the prosecution. There is no point in wasting this court's time over this.
Thank you. Your Honor, justice must be seen to be done.
Implying?
Before sentencing a man to death, we must be certain that he indeed committed the vile crime.
Very well. Trial takes place in 2 weeks' time. I hope that gives you ample time to prepare.
Na wewe, kwani hukulala? Stretching and yawning at 8 in the morning.
Ambrose, I'm not in the mood. Spare me.
Hata no wonder coffee in this office inaisha mid-month.
Come to think of it, my campus days are probably the last time I had so much fun.
What?
No, seriously.
You are really missing out, huh?
Yeah, maybe. But then again, maybe not. Hi, Liz. Hi, Ambrose.
Good morning. Ambrose, whatever it is, I'm not interested.
You have a third eye for him.
Trust me, in time you will too. Anyway, good morning, Ambrose. Malala vizuri.
Chokara! Leo kweli ni leo.
Anything from me?
Thank you. Mbona leo ameng'ara hivyo?
Oh, please. Hasara's coming.
Of course. It's after 8 a.m. Lakini alingia na Elsie.
They came in together?
Yes. Ask Liz.
Leave me out of your assumptions.
It's okay.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good, let's get started.
Sorry, people. I'm a bit late.
Board meetings are at 9. Not later, not earlier.
Of course, I'm sorry.
Cyrus, good job. This week alone you brought in 2 clients. The numbers are looking up, the figures are good. Last week you also brought in 2 clients. Good, very impressive.
I'm just doing my job.
A few months ago, I stressed to both of you to focus less on criminal cases. We are an all-rounded law firm, and we are in the business of making money, so I expect you to bring in clients who bring us money. That will be the focus of this month. Have a good day.
Good one.
In the matter of the Republic versus Team Nura.
Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, the Republic maintains the same position. We have signed and verbal confessions from the accused, Tim Nura, admitting guilt for the killing of his wife and 5 children. And we are ready to move straight to sentencing. But because we are here for the sake of justice and at the expense of the taxpayers' money, we will try the case. The prosecution will provide witnesses and facts.
Tim Nura was unstable and still is unstable. Both the crimes and the confessions were under diminished mental capacity. A man should not be sent to the gallows for a crime that he is not and was not aware of. Tim Nura did not kill his wife. It was not Tim Nura who killed his children, and we will prove that. Tim Nura needs help, not condemnation.
Okay. Call in your witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution calls Officer Khadija. Officer, you are placed under the Criminal Investigations Division at Langata Police Station. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you are specialized in violent crime, so to say.
Yes, murder investigation is more of my area of expertise.
Good. Do you recall what happened on Sunday, the 2nd of April, relating to this case?
I was off duty that day. The superintendent called me and insisted that I drop everything that I was doing and head to Kiluvu Estate, door number 9. There was an attempted multiple homicide there. Upon arrival at the scene, there was an ambulance. Tim Nura was in critical condition, and the paramedics were frantically trying to stabilize him. They then rushed him to the hospital.
What about his family?
His wife and kids had already been rushed to the hospital. The neighbors and the first ambulance rushed them to Kenyatta Hospital, where they seemed to be in a far worse state.
What was the cause for this hospital emergency rush?
The paramedics suspected poisoning, but nothing was certain until when the tests were carried out. As the doctors were attending to the family, I opened an investigation to find out what exactly had happened. I went back to the house in search of the poison. My first suspicion was food or a drink.
Food or a drink? Why?
It was the only item that the whole family can consume and affect all of them.
Uh-huh. Go on.
In the house, there was a box of half-eaten pizza on the table. The family must have been eating it while they were taken ill. I ordered the pizza tested for poison. It was taken to the labs.
What prompted you to take the pizza for poison testing?
The house help, Maria Carter, was the only one who has not taken a bite of it.
I see.
And she was okay.
I see. Continue, please.
She also provided me with an insight. She said that she found it odd that the family was using pizza for lunch, while the father of the house was always against junk food. They even never ate chips in the house. The father says that it promotes obesity and it was unhealthy.
Any more information that you obtained from the house help that was useful?
Yes, she also mentioned that the family was formerly very wealthy, but had been going through very difficult financial patch. In fact, when she mentioned the name Tim Nura, I immediately recognized the man, a real estate mogul, a couple of years back. Rich, influential. I couldn't fathom how he ended up at Kiluvu Estate. That was when Tim Nura became the prime suspect of the multiple homicide.
Due to the fact that he was once a very rich man and then suddenly became poor.
Money and wealth, if the circumstances change, some people cannot cope with the change of the status. Some people become homicidal or even suicidal.
Objection, Your Honor. Is that theory based on fact?
Objection sustained. You may continue.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Tim Nura's wife and children died on the way to hospital.
Yes. Immediately I was informed of their deaths. The case changed into a multiple homicide.
Naturally. And you obtained a signed confession from Tim Nura on the 3rd of April?
Yes.
Tim Nura had just been moved from the high dependency unit to the ward.
Yes.
And you obtained a fully signed confession from a patient who had just been moved from HDU?
He was the prime suspect of the multiple murder.
There was a doctor's complaint against you lodged on the same day that you obtained the confession.
I'm not aware of that.
Was your questioning of Tim Nura approved by the doctors attending him?
He was a prime suspect to a multiple murder.
Please answer the question.
No.
Did the doctors inform you that Tim Nura was unstable? He was under a cocktail of drugs. And they pleaded with you, warned you, not to question the patient until he was stable enough. Does that ring a bell?
It was a murder investigation. 6 people were killed for God's sake.
Did the doctors warn you that questioning the defendants at that critical moment could have serious psychological and mental repercussions? More importantly, the doctors informed you that the drugs that they were administering to Tim Nura could tamper with the cognitive part of his brain. His comprehension abilities were completely interfered with. Mentally, he was quite unstable. Were you requested to give him more time to collect himself, so to say?
He is a murderer, a cold-blooded killer.
Until a court of law says so. Back to my question. Were you or were you not warned of...
Yes, I was.
Were you banned from going to the ward where he was at that particular time?
Yes.
Did you ignore the doctor's orders and sneak into the ward to get a fully signed confession from the patient?
It was a murder investigation. I did what I had to do.
Your Honor, here's a report from the doctor listing all the drugs that were administered to Tim Nura and the psychological effects they had on him.
Which in no way disputes the fact that he admitted to lacing the pizza with rat poison.
It questions the defendant's state of mind. A man who has had over 20 drugs in his body can hardly be considered sober enough to understand his actions and his mind. For all we know, Tim Noura could have admitted to the crime simply because Inspector Khadija told him to do so.
Other than the statement that the defense is willing to exclude as evidence, we had the accused himself admit to killing the family in this very courtroom.
He still is under medication.
Richard Mwako, are you remotely suggesting that Tim Noura bought rat poison, bought a large pizza, laced the pizza with poison, fed his family, and all this was done oblivious of him knowing what was happening?
I'm not just merely suggesting it. I am making a statement, and in fact, we will prove it.
Your Honor, the defense is taking the justice system for a ride here.
I move to dismiss the signed confession because it was obtained from a suicidal patient in violation of the doctor's instructions and protocol.
We have a signed and verbal confession.
Mr. Mwako is right. The written confession was incorrectly obtained, and the possibility of it being corrupted is high.
Your Honor, he blatantly admitted to doing it.
I have that on record. And as for the statement,
the police have...
The statement is inadmissible.
So he will just walk? A man kills his whole family and just walks?
Officer,
I did my job, Your Honor.
A little too zealously, I'm afraid.
But...
Are you done with the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next witness, please.
The prosecution calls in the house help, Maria Carter.
Oh my, you look extremely gorgeous today. What's the occasion?
Please, Mr. Kairu, I'll do the extra research for you. No need to flatter.
Okay, let's see it from another woman's point of view. Elsie, doesn't she look amazing?
I love the shoes. Where'd you get them?
Some store in Hurlingham. My mom bought them for me.
Oh, you lucky girl. So steal them.
No, you deserve to have a drink with me tonight.
No thanks, I don't drink.
The downside of looking good, huh?
Yeah. Maria Carter, please tell this court, how long have you been working for the Noura family as a house help? And tell us what happened on that day, that fateful, tragic day when you got back to work.
Sundays are my days off. With the church asubuhi, narudi 6. Kibahati tu that Sunday. May I speak Swahili?
Of course. As you ulikuwa umeanza.
Much obliged, Your Honor.
Sawa. Sasa ni kama Mungu alipanga nirudi nyumbani.
Kwa nini?
Kanisa ilisha tu hivi. Mvua nayo ikaanza. Mvua kali sana. Nilikuwa nimeplan kutembelea aunti yangu Pangani. Lakini hata town singefika. Kwa hivyo nikaamua nirudi nyumbani.
Ulifika kwa nyumba ya Noura saa ngapi?
Lunch time kitu saa 8 hivi.
Endelea.
Immediately nilipoingia nikapata watoto na mama kwa floor. Wamejiharia, wamejitapikia, povu inawatoka mdomoni. Basi nikagutuka nikaanza kupiga mayowe kwani sikujua nini kilikuwa kinaendelea.
Noura hakuwa nao nyumbani?
Alikuwa ameshika tumbo lake kwa uchungu.
Na watoto?
Watoto walikuwa wajijui, unaona? Nimeshakwambia walikuwa wamejiharia, wamejitapikia, povu inawatoka mdomoni. Basi kwa ile confusion nikaendelea kupiga mayowe. Majirani nao wakaja haraka. Wakaeka watoto kwa gari na kuwapeleka hospitalini. Mzee ni alikuwa mwisho kupelekwa kwani hakuwa critical kama mama na watoto. Kabla kufika hospitalini wakafa. Na miss watoto sana.
Maria.
Na uchungu mwingi sana. Singefikiria mzee angefanya jambo kama hilo.
What made you suspect that it was the father who had poisoned the family? Sorry. Kwa nini?
It's okay, naelewa English. Ni kama kwamba yeye ndiye alikuwa wa mwisho kumeza ile sumu. Kwa sababu yeye hakuwa critical kama mama na watoto. Na hakuwa alafu alikuwa amekaa ameshika pizza kwa mkono. Watoto wanaumia, yeye anawaangalia tu. Si ni obvious. Mzazi hawezi kuangalia mtoto wake akifa kama si amemuua. Ni obvious kabisa.
Thank you very much. Nothing further, Your Honor. Your witness.
Your Honor, we choose not to question this witness.
The defense agrees to the witness's account. Mr. Noura poisoned the family and then attempted to commit suicide.
We did not dispute that fact.
Very well. Your next witness?
Your Honor, we have come to the close of the prosecution's case.
Very well. The court will adjourn briefly.
Tim?
Yes, Richard.
Tim, what happened? Talk to me. Talk to us.
I was a mogul. I had wealth. I was a successful businessman beyond measure. I was a role model for all those young professionals out there. I had 6 luxury cars. I had 5 estates. I funded politician campaigns. I paid exorbitant school fees. I holidayed 4 to 5 days. I used to fly in and out of the country. I had power. I was powerful. But now, I'm nothing. I have nothing. I had 5 estates, but now I rent a 2-bedroomed house. I used to fly in and out of the country, but now I take a bus, I ride a bus to Mombasa. I used to drive luxury cars, but now I drive a battered Toyota. What happened, Mwako?
That's why we're here.
Of what use am I to my family?
Your wife and children loved you.
They hated me. They hated me. I could see that. Every time I got into that house, I could see their faces. A lot of hate. They hated me for moving them from Muthaiga to a 2-bedroomed house in Langata, Kibera. They hated me for taking them to public schools. They hated me. I could see the accusations in their faces and emotions. We were depressed. We were sad. I couldn't take it anymore.
So you thought ending their lives was the best option there was?
Catherine thought so too. She thought they were better dead than alive.
Your wife encouraged you to kill your entire family?
Oh, nothing was worth living for.
Tim, did your wife encourage you to kill your family?
There was nothing worth living for. There was nothing worth living for.
Tim,
There was nothing worth living for.
Tim, okay, we've got that, but we need to know what transpired between you and your wife.
There was nothing worth living for.
Dr. Kilimo, please.
There was nothing worth living for.
Tim Nara.
There was nothing worth
Can you hear
living
me?
for.
Can you hear me, Tim?
What is happening to my brother?
There was nothing worth living for.
Can you hear me, Tim?
Your Honor, my client is unable to continue with his defense due to his unsound mind.
Right, Tukara, with the Medusa case, I'd like you to go through all the previous suits. Go back as far as 1995. I think it's a good scapegoat to give us an idea of what they've had in the past. Yeah.
Sure thing.
And smelling good too. Tukara, you've actually outdone yourself today.
It's the same perfume I've been using.
Really? It smells different. Anyway, I thought we were supposed to have a drink last week.
Mr. Kairu, I've said this over and over again. Let's just keep it business. Huh?
So, what are you doing tonight?
Is there anything else you want me to do for you, Mr. Kairu?
Let's go to the library. I will take you through the rest.
Dr. Kilimo, I'm not a specialist in mental disorders, but what we have just witnessed here looks like he was totally not aware of his surroundings. Am I right?
In essence, yes.
How significant is the damage?
It could significantly impair a person's ability to cope with life's ordinary demands and routines.
So basically, the sudden change in status, so to say, would have led him to psychological imbalance?
Yes. Unfortunately, in his case, he did not seek medical advice in time.
Is he schizophrenic?
I won't classify him as one, but something triggered this response.
A strong enough response to kill?
The mind is a very powerful tool.
I see. Dr. Mkwa?
Yes, Your Honor.
In your experience as a psychologist, is it possible that mental disorder due to anxiety could push somebody to murder?
Honestly, I do not have a perfect answer for that. It purely depends on an individual.
Why?
Let me say this. Before this trial, I had examined Tim Nura, and my conclusive analysis was that as much as he was depressed then, and he is even now, he planned the murders.
Indicative of premeditated murder?
Precisely. You see, he contemplated these 6 months before time. Picked on a day when his house help was not around, chose on a very sumptuous meal, a meal that the whole family would partake. I mean, he planned the murders.
In your professional judgment, do you think he knew what he was doing?
Of course, yes. He planned the murders.
So it is possible that what we just witnessed here was a facade, a charade of some sorts?
Well, for a man to have such a vast empire, he must be highly intelligent. And I won't put that beyond him.
That is quite some information. on the basis of the evidence adduced before this court, I find that the accused is mentally incapacitated and these proceedings shall be stayed. Now, for that sole reason, I order that Team Nura be committed to a mental hospital for treatment and rehabilitation. Now, this court shall await a certificate from the medical officer in charge of Mathari Mental Hospital before making further orders in liaison with the Attorney General as to whether this case shall proceed or not. The court adjourned.
All rise.